What's up, everybody? Julian Hall here, Ultrapreneur TV at the Ultrapreneur. You know where I am, everywhere on the web. Just get my swag right. I'm doing these videos, you can't even see my logo. Today's video is dedicated to my most favorite type of entrepreneur, and that is the creative entrepreneurs. Yes, you know who you are out there, the filmmakers, the music makers, the artists, the designers, all of you guys, I love you. But I want to strangle you because you are the most frustrating bunch of entrepreneurs I have ever had to deal with, and I've dealt with many different types of entrepreneurs. Now, you guys know where I'm going with this, and it's funny because the words creative and entrepreneur are quite closely linked, because in reality, entrepreneurs are creative. But the words creative and business-minded aren't that closely linked. And it's not a diss, it's actually a compliment, because the mechanics of business are not very creative. They're generally quite boring, they're quite rigid, and so on and so forth. Whereas creativity is the complete opposite, right? The creativity is at the heart of innovation, it's at the heart of disruption, it's at the heart of doing new things and doing what you love, right? Doing and being what you love, which is cool. But you still need to be business minded, right? Or there still needs to be a business minded element to any creative project if it is to see a return on its investment. So for example, I've lost count of the amount of filmmakers that I have spoken to over the years who will invest money into a film or a creative project and not know exactly how they're going to get their money back. It's kind of like an afterthought. And this is the same with people who do music and who do art, or, you know, and I'll put you fashion guys into the creative entrepreneur bucket as well. So it almost seems like the driver for most creative entrepreneurs is to create the thing that they want to express, be it in fashion, music, art, film, etc. And there is not as much effort or thought put into the business side or the commercial side. Yeah, the reason I'm doing this video for you guys is because there is so much potential, so much untapped potential, commercial potential behind your creative ideas, and I just don't think you're tapping into it. So here's a couple of tips for you guys. I know that creative entrepreneurs tend to be driven by their creativity and, you know, how they're thinking and feeling at the time and all the rest of it, right? But if you've got to do a business plan, that has nothing to do with the way you feel. If you've got to, you know, attend meetings and draw up plans and presentations and all this kind of stuff, that has nothing to do with how you feel at the time. Don't be hindered by the same thing that drives your creative process as what should drive the commercial and the business process. Because I know if you've got writer's block or some kind of artistic block that you just can't produce your best quality of work. I get all of that, but that cannot be included into the commercial discussion. You've just got to do it. Now, you've just got to kind of force yourself to do it. And by forcing yourself, I don't mean, you know, force in the true sense of the word. I mean to create a habit which disconnects you creatively from the business side, the business mechanics of, you know, of your venture, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is you need to wrap really serious time measured goals around what you're doing. And, you know, there are creative entrepreneurs who I'll speak to, I'll give them some advice, and they won't come back to me for like a year, 6 months, you know, before they execute the next step of the plan that we've discussed. And I know that's simply because you just not really put any tight goals around what it is you're doing, and those goals should be in collaboration with somebody who you're accountable to. So don't become accountable to yourself. That's probably not going to work. It doesn't work for most entrepreneurs, creative or otherwise. Get someone else on board, a friend, a partner, a coach, get a mentor, get someone else on board who you will be accountable to. So it kind of drives some urgency behind it, yeah? And the last, there's only 3 bits of advice because it's really not that complicated, but it is still a challenge. The last piece of advice I'll give you is to find somebody who is commercially minded. If you just are not that commercial person, you're just not that hard-nosed salesperson, you just can't really get your head around, you know, being that pushy marketer or getting your books in order or all of that boring business logistical stuff, then find somebody who can. And this is where we get to this whole team building thing that I keep talking about, and really understanding what your strength is in the business. And you know, a lot of businesses live and die through their creativity, so you guys have got an edge. You really do have something which makes businesses go. And maybe if you're just struggling with the business mechanic side of things, then get someone on board who can help you with that. Yeah, get someone who's just graduated from business school. Get someone, you know, get an accountant, get a solicitor, get somebody who is pretty much the opposite of you, who doesn't have a shred of creativity in them, but they know how to process something, they know how to project manage something, right? And I'm sure you could probably get a non-exec who can maybe do some of this stuff for you for free. If your creative idea is good enough, you'll find that the boring business people will be inspired by it and get behind you. And that's it, guys. If you can lock down those 3 things, you'll find that your progress as a creative entrepreneur will be accelerated. So you know what to do. If this video was useful, do share it with somebody who you think it might inform, annoy, inspire, all of the above. And I am out of here. Peace.